the chaos to confidence mindset for success, which it sounds like you're kind of touching on here. The leaders, the ones that are looking at large language models and ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, Mark Benioff, across all industries. Talk a little bit about that, because you strike me as the kind of person that has your thumb or your finger on the pulse of what successful organizations are doing with that chaos, the confidence kind of mindset. There's a question in there somewhere. Help me out.
Well, there's a lot going on in this world, right? And so I think most leaders who have been through ups and downs, right, will tell you that they recognize that the ups are easy, that everybody's making money. It's great. When things go south, that's really where you learn a lot and test your mettle and find ways to be super productive and super efficient to survive. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go into a recession or anything like that, but these are challenging times in the sense of the labor shortage is really interesting to me. You're losing skilled workers in every industry because there's a lot of baby boomers that are in their retirement age between 55 and 65. These are highly skilled workers who've been at it for a long time. Now, maybe they don't have all of the technological skills that a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old have, but they know how things work. You're thinking about municipal water workers who know how the machines work, how the flows of water work. Think about line workers for electricity, for
HVAC. HVAC is huge.
Trades, plumbing, electricity, and those things. I mean, there's huge opportunities in those spaces for young people to go into. And I have these conversations all the time because there's such a dearth of workers in those spaces. Let me give an example of what I'm talking about. And I'll tie this into data centers and the Chips and Science Act. So out in Boise, and I did a talk for them, the city of Boise and the real estate area. In Boise, they're getting I believe it's a Micron chip factory that's going in there. Now that money, subsidized money from the Chips and Science Act, we're encouraging companies to build fabrication plants here in the United States. Micron's going to build one outside of Boise or around Boise. Down the road in Kuna, Meta is putting a data center in there, right? These two projects are going to be going on simultaneously. The data center can get up and running probably 18 months to 2 years, right? The chip plant takes about 4 to 5 years. In that process, those two projects will need 2,000 electricians. The state of Idaho has 1,200. And now you can understand the scope of the problem that's occurring across the country in trades. So that is interesting to me. That creates a competition for those workers. And so for companies, you really have to start to think like, okay, if I want to hire people in AI, I mean, you're at the very, very peak of expensive human beings because there are just very few of them. And there's very few that are available to come work and design something for you. So you're going to have to figure out a way to navigate that. Some of that is training your people by sending them to conferences. And I think that's a great way of doing that so they can interact. Some of it is really making technology at the forefront of your business plan as far as what you're doing. It could be sales, it could be the structure of the company, whatever. Now more than ever, the CTO of a company is sitting on either the board of directors or sitting in on the board of directors meetings, or they're part of the executive team for sure. And at the highest levels of companies because it's so integral into what they're doing. So I guess broadly speaking, if I'm answering the correct question, I think that's where it's fascinating to me about how all of these disparate things that are going on that seem not connected are intimately connected and really can help companies drive growth going forward.